What's good, Plum Borough? I'm Drew Bartow, alongside my co-host, Mike Devine.
Going on.
And Justin Newman.
Yo.
And show producer, the one and only interrupter, Big Cat.
I think that's me, right?
All right. We aim to entertain and educate more than 3 Plum residents, so gather around and enjoy the sounds of Sour Plums. Welcome to the Sour Plums podcast, friends. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our very special guest, making a return from one season ago. I think 1 year ago, this week or next, he was here on our show, talked about Steelers and Pittsburgh sports. Co-host of 93.7 The Fans PM team with Poni Mueller, Chris Mueller. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, guys. I definitely wasn't just texting my wife who said, hey, our son is crying for you. I said, honey, listen, I'm taping a podcast for the love of God. This is serious business. I don't care that the little guy is crying for dad. He can wait. It's called building character.
We appreciate you. Right? We appreciate your dereliction of duty as a father to join us tonight, Chris. And I don't know. I know the guys have some questions too, but I kind of want to jump right into some Steelers talk. There's a lot going on right now. I know you do this for a living, so you're in tune with it. I was going to start Aaron Rodgers, but Cam Heyward. I think that's a little bit of a big story right now, and I want to get your thoughts. I know you introed before the program started, and you said this is why I side with athletes all the time, professional athletes. I don't know where I stand on this one with Cam. I know there's been for 5 months now the Steelers have basically told him, no, we're not going to do this, and now it's became public. And he does stand to lose a lot, right? I mean, if he doesn't play, he doesn't get paid. So where do you stand on what should happen? What do you expect to happen with Cam Heyward, his contract?
I mean, I think I can speak like many people probably can for at some point in your career, if you get a chance in any job to go in and try to like ask for a raise and you don't get what you want, like you leave with a little bit of raw feelings. I mean, that happened to me years and years ago, different management at my company. So like, I don't have to like toss anybody that I currently work for under the bus because it's been pretty copacetic, but like we've all been there where we think like maybe we outperform something and we want to be treated a certain way. But like in Cam's case, I think it's pretty messy. And it's easy for me to say generally just side with the player because they're the millionaires and the other guys, Shaq had the famous line of, or maybe he's a comedian, Shaq is rich. The guy who signs Shaq's checks is wealthy. Like, and so I always try to like drive home that point of, there's rich and then there's wealthy. And like generally, if you're going to make me pick between one of the two, I'll side with the rich guy, the athlete, over the wealthy owner. And also it's easy to be on Cam's side in the sense that he's been this total warhorse. Hold on. Good night, son. And no, that was serious. That was for real. Like he's been a total like stand-up guy and great citizen, and obviously the most relevant part of this because all that becomes like kind of ancillary, if you don't play well. But he was a first-team All-Pro last year. He's in uncharted territory as far as his age relative to performance at his position. Like you see 37-year-old quarterbacks play well, and they get rewarded with contracts oftentimes, like real ones, legit ones. You don't really see 37-year-old defensive linemen still in the league, first off, let alone being first-team All-Pros. So, like, to make a long story longer, a long answer longer, I would just say you hear this story and you're like, yeah, he is underpaid. He is one of the 10 best in the league, and he should be getting more money. But what makes it messy is he and his agent willfully entered into a contract, and, man, we could go down the rabbit hole if these deals aren't guaranteed. So, like, I get it. Players want to claw every dime they can. It's, people say, well, Sid never asked for a raise. The minute Sid strokes the pen on a deal that pays him $112 million or whatever it might be, Sid's getting every dime of that. The minute Paul Skeens goes to the Yankees or Dodgers, whoever trades for him and wants to sign him to big money, well, come on, we know he's not signing it here. That's not even trolling. That's just like speaking in reality. The minute Paul Skeens signs, say, a 10-year deal for, at that point, it'll be like $650, $700 million, he's going to see every cent of it. Same thing with the NBA. So, like, these are different contracts. And I think even though fans know that, they don't think on it enough. Like, yeah, this guy's assuming major physical risk. So he and his agent coming off of a season that admittedly was a down year. He's hurt 6 games. He doesn't play that well. They try to get what they can. And then he does what nobody thinks he's going to do and probably even himself thinks he's going to do, has an outrageous year. And where he not lost me, but like where it's easy to see why he's losing the PR battle. That's usually pretty tough to lose. Is I told them if I had an All-Pro, that I would be back there to talk to them about a new deal when I had an All-Pro season. Buddy, if you were that confident that you were going to have one, write it into the contract. Put in some sort of like, they're going to want something back from you, but put in some sort of poison type of pill, like where they have to come back to the table, or you automatically kick in X million dollars in a raise because you played so well. But he didn't do any of those things. And so I think I saw this guy named Joel Corey, who was an NFL agent. And so this is a guy who automatically is aligned with the players in this situation almost every time. Man, when the first sentence that dude who's been around the blocks, tweets out is Cam Heyward's trying to have it both ways. It's not a great look from a PR perspective. Like, even if he deserves the money, you're like, oh, God, dude, like you did sign the deal and you are like basically saying, hey, I told you I was going to do this, so let's rip it up and do something new, or let's move money from 26 into 25. And I think that's where he's losing a lot of people, because the majority of his 2025 money is already in as a roster bonus. Like it's there for him. So he got that cash already.
Yeah, and if you're the Steelers, don't you have in the back of your mind the same reason I haven't drafted Derrick Henry the last 2 years, and it's burned me in fantasy football, is that he's getting up there in years, and it's a matter of time, right? And the next big injury could be the career ender. There's a lot of risk there with the Steelers to pay more money.
Yeah, there is. I mean, and that's why he wants more money too, though. He knows that.
Right.
So this is where the fact that football has non-guaranteed deals gets inherently messy. And as much as the owners are the bad guys, wait till they come asking for a handout for, tax money for stadium improvements, which they will. Like that's a real thing. We're all adults here. We know how the score kind of works. I understand why the team has trepidation, even to move like a little bit of money from next year into this year. He was a first-team All-Pro who might end up playing his last real NFL season if he tears a triceps or something, or has like one of those injuries that it's like at 37, do I want to rehab from this? This could be it. And so both sides are motivated, in my opinion, to act the way they've acted thus far by the exact same fear. The player fears that he'll get hurt and wants to squeeze every dime out of this. The team fears that the player will get hurt and really does not want to come back to the table lest they be stuck holding the bar tab.
Yeah. So I guess quick prediction. What's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Most likely to happen.
I still think the Steelers probably move like $5 or $6 million of that money he's due next year, give him a little pot sweetener. I mean, it's been hard to pin down exactly what he wants. He alluded to the idea that that's sort of what he's looking for, like an A-B style thing. Schefter came out and I think is getting it from probably the front office, maybe Omar Khan, because they're pretty tight. I think Schefter is putting out a vision that's the team's opinion on this, which is, look at the player. He wants a lot more than just a pot sweetener. I think what he does want is a pot sweetener. I think this will get done. I do not think Cam Heyward is the kind of guy who's wired to miss football games, because that would be very stupid on his part. He'd probably have to give back some of that bonus. So he's going to play, and I think he's going to play for a little more money than he was otherwise going to get this year.
Do you think timing is also what to do with training camp and age? Like you said, I mean, he's getting up there. And do you think it has anything to do with just kind of getting out of camp?
I mean, I think doing this in February and then knowing his age and how they would handle him in camp, like it didn't become an issue till last Thursday, when I suspect, can't prove it, but again, suspect that the Steelers kind of leaked it out because they were getting annoyed by it. And you have two players get their situations blown up by Adam Schefter on the same day. And I would imagine like they were getting impatient with it. And you'll notice nobody even batted an eyelash that he hadn't really taken part in any actual, live scrimmaging in camp, because he's Cam Heyward. You know what he's capable of. He doesn't need to go out there and prove anything to anybody. It makes, so from a timing perspective, maybe there's that. I think, like Mike, I think the one thing that's interesting about how this went down is I really think Cam probably thought it would be done by now, because another thing that's from a PR standpoint been thrown back into his face is, hey, you either want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't, to Aaron Rodgers. And he said that after, on the timeline of events, he had already made it known to the team that he wanted something different done with this deal. I got to believe he says that because he's a very smart and very savvy guy, especially with the media, thinking well, yeah, they'll have this done for me. I can say this, and it's never going to get out that I wanted a little bit more money. They'll move $5 million my way. Everyone will say, oh, yeah, Cam deserved that. Pretty cool. Nice gesture by the team, and move on. And now that's getting held up as like, hey, man, like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, not great, not a good look. And it's just another situation where I think he and his agent might have misread the team's intentions for him.
That's a good point. Now, turning from one, we'll call him veteran or older player to another, Aaron Rodgers, Chris.
Drew's favorite.
I don't want to get into that, how much he's not my favorite. But we know Aaron Rodgers is going to bring 100% of his arrogance to the season. But how much of his former ability, all-pro ability, is he going to bring? 50%? 60%? Under? What do you see from this year? What's his best case scenario, and what do you think is going to happen with Aaron Rodgers this year?
So he signed for what, $13 million? There was incentives that could push it, I think, close to 19, something like that, if he checks every box. So market-setting money for a quarterback, right? Dak makes 60. He's not the best quarterback in the league. But for argument's sake, let's say the best quarterback in the league should be making 60. That's where the market's at. Mm-hmm. Well, if he brought 100% of Aaron Rodgers, he's making 62 because he's a 4-time MVP and an upper room Hall of Famer when this is done. If he was bringing 75%, theoretically, he would want 40-some-odd million or 45 million. If he's bringing 50%, he wants 30 million. Now, I don't think this is a perfect equation here because I do think he'll give you like 60% of Aaron Rodgers, but there's a reason he was available for a song. And there's a reason the Jets were ready to move on for him because on one level or another, he's not that guy anymore. Like I like to try to temper enthusiasm, not to be a wet blanket, but because I'm addicted to being somewhat logical about this stuff. He wouldn't be here for the price they paid to get him here if other teams in a very competitive league where everyone does want to win because winning makes more money for your franchise thought that he was still that dude. Like the arm still snaps, the arm still got pop. He never was like a guy who needed to throw his lower body into it to make the ball spin and go fast. I mean, he's like just touched by God, the right shoulder. I just think you know what I do think you're going to get? You kind of said arrogant, and I'm not a huge fan of him because I just do think there's some smartest guy in the room stuff, but it's mostly away from football where I just kind of like, man, I don't care. Like I don't even know what you're saying half the time, and I don't care about what you're saying half the time or 2/3 of the time. But where I have done a 180 on him is this. He's had little squabbles with a guy like Garrett Wilson, who is known as a very like non-diva-like young wide receiver. Like that can happen sometimes. But where I will say he has won me over is this. When he talks about football, when he talks about being around the team, when he talks about getting along with Arthur Smith and how he talks to his younger teammates and he tells the little anecdotes about, man, they don't even have names on the practice jerseys. This is tough. I'm old. You know, I did ayahuasca in the desert. My memory might be not great for names. He comes off legitimately as 100 times more authentic than Russell Wilson ever did. And Russell Wilson came off like a guy who was being programmed with a bunch of zeros and ones by somebody running a computer. He was speaking in basic. I love my receivers. George Pickens is really talented. This guy is incredible. You can see him doing it with the Giants already. Malik Neighbors is one of the best ever to do this. It's clear what kind of talent he has. And so, like, do you remember that cringeworthy thing when they blew the game to the Bengals and Russ had that horrible late game performance? And he's seen excoriating Heyward. We're going to win 4. Let's win 4. Go win 4. And like, you're like, oh my God, dude. Like, how is Cam not just turning and caving his face in with his fist? He's got to be so mad at him. Like Russ, I think one of Russ's old teammates in college said everything he says and the way he acts makes sense when you realize that his lifelong goal is to actually be president. And so in that way, I think Rodgers is a much more authentic guy when it comes to football. And so I think if he brings 60% of the skill that he still has or 70%, he's going to be better than either guy they had last year. And I do think they're going to get like real authentic football guy Aaron Rodgers. Like, is he going to say something about, I don't know, the world's seed crop that they keep under permafrost somewhere and talk about that? Maybe. But if he throws 28 touchdowns and 8 picks, I think people are going to tolerate it.
So we talked about this a few weeks ago. With some of the moves they made on his side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball, does he need to be 100% of Aaron Rodgers? Can he be 60 or 70% and manage the game and still have a winning season? A potentially go deeper into the playoff season?
Can they win a playoff game, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for them to win a playoff game, the defense has to be more as advertised, like what it's supposed to be. A couple things. I think Jones and Fautanu have to be really good. And so I would say one of the more encouraging developments is that Fautanu looks like he's kind of back and he's starting to field a little bit. And Jones looks like now that he's playing the position they drafted him to play, that even though it might be a slow process for him, like the trajectory from everything you're hearing seems to be like steady, like the line, stonks go up right now for Broderick Jones. It's maybe not like skyrocketing through the roof, but it looks like steady improvement from a guy who's probably more engaged to be playing the position he intended to play all along. Can they win a playoff game? Yeah. I mean, that's matchup dependent too, is it not? I mean, if you go in as, say, the 6th seed or the 5 seed, and you play an AFC South champion who maybe has some flaws, then yeah. But if you go in as the 7th seed and you got to get probably one of the following two, Buffalo or Kansas City, in their house, yeah, I don't see that happening, man. Like, I just don't. There's a reason that this conference is a meat grinder, because you've got Allen, Mahomes, you guys know this, Burrow, Jackson. You probably have to take Herbert seriously because they have a real coach there in Harbaugh. You've got May, who I think could be really good. I mean, you could rattle off 7, 8 quarterbacks right now that you can make an easy case should be better than Aaron Rodgers this year, and they're just in the AFC.
So you're saying it's not the easy road that the Eagles would have?
It isn't. I mean, that's like, but I mean, it really is. So what do the Eagles have to worry about now? In their own division, Daniels looks like that dude. Okay. Kyle Shanahan is perpetually boy genius, who's whatever. His team is going to end up like getting 8 million injuries somehow, and they're not going to be a threat. The Lions I love, and I want them to be great. They're my second team now. I love the whole like vibe over there, but they lost dudes. They lost valuable linemen. Ragnow retired. They've got a brain drain that they've got to see if they can surmount. So it would be easier to look at a team that maybe is a 10-win team in the NFC and say, those guys could get hot at the right. Like, let me put it this way. I'll try to say it in these terms. It's much easier for me to imagine Baker Mayfield, who I do think is better than Rodgers right now, getting on a heater with the Buccaneers in the playoffs, going in at like 10-7, getting on a crazy heater, and those guys ending up in the NFC title game. Or in the Super Bowl, because they just get like a Flacco 2012 run. You want to play that little game in the AFC? Like, good luck, man. Pack a lunch. And so they could be 10-7 and obviously better than they were last year. Like, I think there's a real chance, especially if like the defensive additions, if Ramsey's as good as advertised, and they might still run into a brick wall because like on some level it like doesn't matter. I mean, God, look at the Bills, man. Every year they're like stacked to the gills, and it just does not matter. The Ravens, ridiculous. Like, I'm like a Lamar admirer, not a Lamar hater, like as is fashionable sometimes in this town and maybe on the other half of the table on my own show. But those dudes hosted an AFC title game, got like everything you'd want, held the Chiefs to 17 points, and still Lucy pulled the football out from under them. So, man, I know we're just talking about winning a wild card game, but that kind of paints the picture of what you got to deal with and live with in the AFC.
That's great, Chris. We're gonna talk about the Pirates really quickly in our Plum Problems segment. But first, I'm gonna thank our sponsors. Thank you to Continental Comb, Tresco Concrete, the Jen Mascara Real Estate Team, the Lulo's Pizzeria, Salute Beer Distributor, Busy Little Me, Pittsburgh Sports Complex and Self Storage, Nesbitt's Lanes, and Coyote Outdoor. Continental Comb Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra-free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com.
Lilulo's Pizzeria, serving up quality food, good grace, and burnt pizza since 2016. Local and woman-owned, located at 415 Unity Center Road in Plum. Call 412-795-1229 and mention Sour Plums for 10% off your order of $10 or more. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We'll jump right into Plum Problems, and the only plum problem we have tonight
is speaking,
and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Say the plum problem is pronunciation 3 times fast. Anyone want to try it? Justin, you feeling brave right now?
Say that again. Plum problem is the pronunciation?
Yeah, say that three times in a row. The plum problem is pronunciation. The plum problem is pronunciation. The plum problem is pronunciation.
The plum problem is pronunciation. The plum problem is pronunciation. The plum problem is pronunciation.
I think he should get to ask the question now. I mean, honestly.
Ask the question. Oh, wait. First, guys, I missed it. What are we drinking tonight?
Ooh, good call.
I got a Baja Blast Hard Mountain Dew.
Hard Mountain, okay.
That's the blue one. Oh, no, you're drinking the Baja Blast pack, not the actual Baja Blast.
Punch, yes. Baja Blast Punch, sorry.
I'm drinking water on the rocks with a Pinehurst Slow Play sticker on it, but if I was drinking beer, boys, I'd be drinking a Sam Adams American Light. Look for it wherever you buy beer.
I love it.
Probably at Salute.
I love it. Yes.
That probably is at Salute.
Yeah, I'm sure they have it at Salute. Newman, what are you drinking?
Not your father's root beer.
Figured that.
Classic.
What about you, Big Cat, on the road tonight?
Well, on the road, not sure if you can hear me, not sure if I'm coming through. My internet's crap, so I got some problems. I'm going to tie it in. We had dinner at the hotel, and halfway through dinner, we found out the pop we were drinking, no big deal, the pop that I was drinking was expired. One Diet Coke was like 3 years expired. Like,
it's a recommendation anyway. It's fine.
But I was thirsty, and they took all the pop away after it was found to be expired. They like rushed it out.
But wait, you were drinking
in my
Diet?
hotel room.
So you were drinking Diet?
A coworker was drinking Diet. She found that hers was expired because
I know, but those are like forever chemicals in there. So she's good.
Apparently, it changes. There was a Six Flag coupon on it that expired in 2022.
We drank. We had an old set of bottles of like Coca-Cola in glass bottles from the Final Four in like 1994 or something. Like they might have had the Final Four in Seattle at the Kingdom way back when, and we tried to drink them. And I will say, about 25 to 30 years is what I would call the statute of limitations on soft drinks tasting like soft drinks. Like, I do not recommend that.
What are you drinking, Andy?
I am drinking cheddar broccoli from the other half. It's a double IPA. Follow up to their one that was called broccoli. No cheddar, no broccoli in it, but it's very delicious. Other half does a really good job. So, but yeah. So let's go to our plum problem. We want one tonight, and it's a plum problem for decades now, Chris, and it's the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we kind of want to get your take on if you're ever the optimist, because I'm giving up. I was the guy this season. Was like, you know what? I'm going to go pay and watch Paul Skeens pitch because what he's doing is historic, and I want to see that. I want my son to see that. I want my kids to see that. But I'm kind of getting over that after the trade deadline. I thought that was really rough to see what I thought they could have gone. They basically have a bunch of players that are going to leave in free agency. They could have at least gotten something for them. More single A players, I guess. If you're a Pirates fan, give us some optimism, or if for the Pirates fans out there, give us some optimism, or tell us to just stop.
Oof. I don't know if this is going to go and get posted tomorrow, so I'll just specify that Paul Skeens is the reason to be optimistic about this team, and yet the team I keep thinking of now when I think of all the things the Pirates do wrong is the Brewers, because they're the Pirates. Remember that Seinfeld? You guys watch Seinfeld, the Bizarro World, where the Bizarro Jerry, where like Elaine meets like all the inverse versions of her friends who are actually normal, well-adjusted, kind people. Like I feel like
Yes.
the Brewers are Bizarro Pirates, or the Pirates are Bizarro Brewers, however you want to look at that, because they do everything right. And they hired Matt Arnold, who was apparently one of the 2 finalists when the Pirates were hiring their successor to Neil Huntington. They went with Ben Cherington. Some of this stuff I have to... let me put it this way. There are people involved in that decision-making process, based on my understanding of it, who have been involved in a couple different major Pirates decisions over the last several years, who who look like Dave Kingman up there swinging and missing on the big decisions, or maybe I guess O'Neal Cruz lately, if you want to use a topical example. They've made. Listen, the Brewers, I think, spent like $30 million more on their payroll this year. That's not an exceptional amount of money. Honestly, it isn't. It's not. It's probably two good players. It's like one middle of the rotation starting pitcher and maybe two decent position players, whatever. So they don't spend an insane amount more. They're beating the Pirates' brains in right now, and they beat up on Paul Skeens. As I say this, they put a bunch on Skeens. They're up by 2 touchdowns right now, minus the extra points. And they just do every little thing right. They trade aggressively. They have one team removed from the Pirates, rehabbed and resuscitated Quinn Priester's career. And you just see like that it's possible, right? It's possible to be pretty transparent with your fans. It's possible to be very shrewd and aggressive with your decision making, and to be good on a regular basis on a budget in a TV market that's even smaller. And so it's very hard for me to sit here and preach hope, because the Pirates got the single most valuable commodity any team, big or small market, wants. Like a legit frontline big boy ace. And at worst, he's the second best pitcher in baseball. Scooble's the only other guy even in the conversation. You have that guy on an exceptionally team-friendly deal, and you've built nothing around him. You've allegedly spent some of the money allocated to you, if you're Ben Cherington, on analysts. You've made bad trades. You've made no trades in some cases with these expiring veteran contracts. I have a hard time preaching hope when they got the one thing that's like the golden goose. The golden goose laid them that one egg, and they've done nothing with it. And under this GM, they've shown zero inclination to be able to do anything on a steady basis. I mean, Ben Cherington's like I was trying to think of weird comps among like pro football coaches, right? Because you don't really have coach GM combos too much in football. Do you remember Rich Kotite with the Jets? When he was like, I think he won like 4 games in 2 years. Imagine if Rich Kotite in his first year on the job had gone like 11-5 and won the Super Bowl and done an objectively pretty good job, and then was just 3-13 every year after that, but somehow just kept getting jobs or kept staying on the job. You'd scratch your head. Well, that's Cherington as a GM. 1 4th place finish with the Pirates, 1 World Series, and then dead last every other year. And like the only optimism I could, I guess, sell you if you're a Pirates fan listening to this is maybe Bob Nutting gets fed up and has had enough and tries to make like a more, just a better hire in replacing this guy. Let me put it this way. If they had hired Matt Arnold instead of Matt Arnold ending up with the Brewers, would they be a playoff team right now? I can't guarantee that. But I think they'd be a better team. And if they were run the way the Brewers are run, with certain transparencies and everything else built in, I think they'd be a better franchise. Mark Atanasio, the owner of that team, very famously, after they had been a contender a couple years in 2008 and 2010, kind of told fans, I think in the mid-aughts, or the mid-2010s, excuse me, like, hey, we're going to have to be bad for a couple of years. Like, this is the reality of running a team in a city of this size in this sport. We're going to have to be bad, but here's our plan. Like, stick with us, hang in there. We're going to just tell you up front what the plan is. Yes, it's going to be stripping this roster down, but we're going to make the right moves. That's the hard part. And we're going to be back before you know it. They went 4 years where they had one 82-win season. They had a couple really bad years. And guess what they've basically done ever since? They've been nails. They have been awesome. And I think you engender a lot of faith in trust in your fan base if you take the radical step of telling them the truth and just saying, this is how we have to operate. Like, yes, do we have to get moves right? Do we have to get lucky with some stuff? Sure. But I think once you create that culture, it begets some of the success. Guys come to the Brewers, whether they're players or whether they're executives, and they expect to do well because the guys before them did well. And the Pirates have whatever the inverse of that looks like.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
You're right. No, the Pirates are always they're saying the company line. There's as if they're in business negotiations. They know they're losing money. But you keep telling your customers how great your business is doing, or we're going to turn it around. We have 4 players hitting in the 100s. They're all going to turn it around and double their average, and we're going to have a better second half. And it doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. Be real with the people. We're going to suck for a few years, like you said. But here's how we're going to do it. Lay out a plan that somebody can like latch onto at least, and see you have a plan and see you execute that plan. But they don't do that. They don't do it. And I've
thrown the word urgency around a lot, and it makes it worse because it feels more like empty platitudes when you, from the owner on down, say, hey, we have an urgent need to win. We know we need to win. Like we're taking this seriously. And the moves just don't reflect the verbiage that they use. And so that's pretty frustrating to me. So it's hard for me to preach optimism against that backdrop.
So with the model they have, going back to like 2013, is that how it's supposed to work, or was that a fluke? Like, is that what they're waiting for again? All the pieces to fall into place? Is it going to happen again, or was that just kind of like,
man,
did they fall into it?
That's a good question. That's why you're on this podcast, Divine. I know. No, that's interesting. I think a lot about that. Like, I don't sit here in the Mulsey mansion crafting like the lowest common denominator barrel fire hot takes. Like there is some attempts at thoughtfulness here. They were, for a very brief kind of moment in time under Huntington, ahead of the curve. All this stuff that this year's front office talked about, winning in the margins, doing the little things. They did that in 2013, and I think they were helped by a variety of factors. Power pitching and power hitting, most expensive commodities, were kind of at their most devalued back then, if that makes sense. You'll remember Pedro led the NL in home runs, tied for the league lead with 36. Like, that ain't getting you in the top 6 now, most years. It was more of a 1980s, like, think Willie McGee on the Cardinals style of game. It was speed, it was defense, it was ball in play. And you could, I think, exploit market inefficiencies a lot better back then, and Huntington did. The ground balls, the defensive shifts, Ray Searage, Jim Benedict, this like holistic island of misfit pitchers. They had some stuff that goes beyond statistical quantification, which is Burnett looking for a fresh start, not wanting to have like the stink of his time with the Yankees ending so badly, being like the last memory people had of him. So you have this dude who actually gives you some like legit badass stuff and capability and mindset and credibility come in. You fix Francisco Liriano, who was a big time arm. You get Russell Martin right when pitch framing actually mattered. Remember how bad people made fun of that contract? And then like the one thing the dude inarguably did phenomenally well was actually valuable, and he hit a little bit for you too. He was also a leader who also gave you credibility. You had a rising star who you knew was a star and weren't hoping, like with O'Neal Cruz. You had McCutchen on the rise. You had some pieces around him that were useful. You got lucky with stuff like here comes Josh Harrison out of nowhere to become utility man supreme in 2014 and be valuable all 3 of those years. And so when you look at like the landscape in baseball back then, they just caught everyone pretty flat-footed, and it took the league a couple years to adjust and catch up. But here's the problem now. Like, they were also doing things in the draft that made people mad, giving Josh Bell $5 million. And then baseball, because it is a sport that wants the big markets to succeed, the Red Sox and other franchises moaned about that, and then suddenly the draft rule got changed for slotting systems. So the problem for them was, well, every other big market team will said, well, we're not going to keep signing 32-year-old guys to big contracts. We're going to hire the people who are running the Pirates and the Rays, in this case, Andrew Friedman to the Dodgers, that kind of stuff. We're going to hire smart people. We're going to give them unlimited budget to build out like a great developmental system, great coaches, all that stuff. And then we're going to do a better job developing the players we have. And that's how you see the Dodgers, even though they have the biggest payroll every year and they always trade prospects, hold on to a lot of guys and have great, farm rankings. They're spending more on it. They've closed that gap and then exceeded the Pirates in that regard. And so, like, now you have to just be really good at developing players, I think, and identifying talent, and they're not. And Matt Arnold is, his people are in Milwaukee, and the Rays are still doing this better than most. Like, they've kind of had an up and down last month plus, but there are no more advantages for the Pirates to exploit. They were, I think, slow on the. I've had friends tell me they think maybe the Pirates also were like early on the sticky stuff and just spin rates. But if they were, they didn't pursue it to the fullest, and other teams lapped them. You had the freaking Astros banging on trash cans and probably sticking a wire on Jose Altuve. That's why he didn't want his shirt ripped off at the end of that playoff game. They stopped being able to have an advantage in the margins, and the sport basically closed off the margins to them. And so when they talk about winning in the margins in the year of our Lord, 2025, I just don't see it. Like, there are no margins. It's, can you find a lot of cheap, good players and get the most out of them while you've got them? Did that even answer the question? I felt like I was just giving like a speech to a high school class about like, don't give up on your dreams, except do give up on this subject.
It did, Chris, because you convinced me to be a Milwaukee Brewers fan. So you did, you answered the question and you persuaded me.
I mean, they're just they really did have like some secret sauce back then. They had like any team that takes Jay Happ and turns him into basically Jake Arrieta for the rest of that season. He should have started the wild card game, by the way. Not Cole. Any team that does that had something going, and now they just don't. Like they had juice back then. It was weird. It was like, look at them putting all their infielders over here. But it was weird, but it was good. And it was something that other teams were very slow to react to. But that is long, long, long gone.
And I miss it. 3 years. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, that's the quick bummer. I'll say this. Like, I think Atanasio, the Brewers owner, sees those crowds that he's able to get and like puts his money where his mouth is and values the fans and is transparent. And like, man, you see how fun it is to probably go to those games, even though it's in like a shopping mall, basically, that they're playing in. It has no like aesthetic appeal, but people love going to Brewers games. And it does frustrate me that it feels like Bob Nutting saw that from 2013 through 2015. And you would hope he'd be moved in such a strong way that he would be hell-bent for glory to try to recreate that. And if he had to sink down to the bottom, be there as short a time as possible so he could get all the good vibes back, and the ticket sales and the concessions and the general feeling of goodwill. And it does not feel like an urgent priority of his. When you look at least how he's handling Ben Cherington's tenure and how they are handling roster management.
Well, Chris, we appreciate your thoughtful takes. That's why we love having you on the show. Are you going to stick around for a little while?
I got a couple more minutes, but we might have kid number 2 still. I can give you 5 to 10 more minutes if that's
all right.
If that's
all right,
copacetic.
Let's do go out of order and do blind rankings then.
All right, let's start with blind rankings then.
I'll be less up my own ass answering these questions, so we'll go quicker.
Actually, let's do Would You Rather because Chris has this in his.
Okay. Let's do it.
In my show prep packet, yes, I was given Would You Rather. I was told that I got to prepare one little small piece here.
Yeah. All right. So since Chris is on the show, we do have a Pittsburgh theme. All of our things are Pittsburgh sports themed tonight. So would you rather watch the Immaculate Reception live, or would you rather be at the 2009 Stanley Cup
Game 7
finals? Game 7.
So it's funny. Chris. It's funny. Both probably my like personal biggest gut punch as an adult Pittsburgh sporting event and my most favorite Pittsburgh sporting event for sheer drama. I experienced both of them at 2 separate sports bars in Chicago in 2009. I think I was at a place called McGee's watching Scotty Reynolds rip my stomach out through my through the wrong end. And then I was at a different bar that I can't even remember the name of, watching the Penguins Red Wings Game 7 with a buddy of mine from Penn State who lived out that way. And at the end of each game, the irony was my immediate reaction to the final whistle was the same. At the first one, I said, "I'll have 2 shots of Jameson, please," in like the most monotone, defeated voice ever. And I think at the second one, I said, 2 shots of Jameson, Lord Stanley, bring me the brandy, and like was making screaming like an idiot, right? My wife and I for a while were Penguins half-season ticket holders, so congratulations on all of our success. as we would say on the show. We saw playoff games in there. I feel like I was in the building when Evgeny Kuznetsov ended kind of the dynasty and won Game 6 in 2018. We saw a 1-0 game. They beat the Senators on a Phil Kessel goal in the Eastern Finals in 2017. So I got to see meaningful hockey. I want to say I was at least at one Stanley Cup final game in that run, I believe. But my memory is like weirdly hazy because, we're all going insane with microplastics or something like that. Anyway, I digress. So that would all lead to me probably saying Immaculate Reception, right? Like I've seen crazy moments in hockey. Give me the game that decided a championship, though. I would rather have been at Game 7.
Wow.
Because for me, the Immaculate Reception, like the play, is one of those things that has become better through the fact that it's got the TV and the slow motion of Franco and the angles, and it's been debated. And I know on the day of, it was the refs debated for 15 minutes and then decided to give like a ruling on the play. Like it was this big controversy, right? And sure, it would absolutely have been spectacular to see. Like, oh my God, they lost. Oh, wait a minute, no, they didn't. Did he actually catch it? And he obviously did. The ball was like a foot off the ground. The truthers on that one are very dumb, unlike the Sid Bream truthers like me who are right. He was out. But like that would have been cool in the moment, but they also didn't win anything that year. It's seen as like the start of the dynasty because they showed they could beat a team like the Raiders, who were obviously like a true AFC power at that point, along with the Dolphins. They finally got a playoff win, but man, if you take being in somebody else's barn for a hockey Game 7, a Stanley Cup Game 7, which for me is as good as it gets in sports, like that specific sport, Game 7, and you're watching your team against a team that felt, even though it was going the distance, felt just as good as the previous year's team, which like should have beaten the Penguins probably in a gentleman's sweep, if not 4. And you're like, these guys are just the Soviet Red Army team with like with like a winged wheel on the front. To see your team go in there and actually get it done, the sheer tension that I think that would have created for me, like is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? That third period, I would have been a basket case in a good way, the way we all want to be with sports. So I would actually take that one because at the end of it, you're the champs. Like there isn't another game. You did it. And so as much as I set this up probably thinking, oh, he'd love to be at the Immaculate Reception, I would take having been in Detroit for Game 7 as my pick. I also had friends who went to that series who said they were like Atlanta Braves fans, Detroit by that point in the 90s, where the Braves couldn't even sell out a playoff game because the fans were just like spoiled rotten. They said that good seats were easily had for ridiculously low prices in that building in Game 7, which I am flabbergasted by, but take it for what it is.
I have a unique take on this, I think, and it's probably going to talk on both sides of my mouth. So I want to get Newman and Big Cat's perspective first. What do you say, Newman? As a big Steeler fan, huge fan, huge Pittsburgh fan. What do you think there, Mr. Eagle?
So I need clarification. Am I going back as me? Am I going back in time, or am I in the moment in 2009 or whatever the hell, 70, whatever that was?
What?
Am I time traveling, or is it?
Are you like a certain age, you mean? Like, are you at that age? Well, were you born in 1972? Like, you can't
I was
go
not.
back
That's
as
what I'm saying. Like, am I time traveling? Like, what am I doing here?
It's rad if we just sent you back to 72 as like an infant who can't control his bowels and doesn't know what's going on. Be like, yeah, man, I'd love to go see that game. I didn't have to do anything.
Mike was born in 72. I wasn't born in 72.
Oh,
There's
fuck
a difference.
off. No, you're old enough to appreciate it.
So old enough to appreciate it. So I'm
and celebrate. So we'll say like you're in your mid-20s.
Neither. Next,
man.
Worst answer.
Big Cat, I got to give you this answer before I go and say something here.
I'm gonna answer the question and not look for loopholes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would rather be at the Pens game. I think that was a really exciting game to see. I was watching it like we were watching it together with a group of people, and it slowly dwindled. And when we won, I was alone on the couch, like watching it, and it was so exciting. Like I would have probably missed the catch, from Franco. I would have probably missed it. So I don't want to risk that. I would have probably been distracted. I mean, that would have been fun, but I'll go with the Pens.
Game 7 is always the answer.
Yeah,
my take is
big win.
And the only reason my take is a little bit different is that we're all, not just us, nationally, maybe internationally, who knows, we're all still talking about the Immaculate Reception. And for me to be able to say, I was at that game, to me, that carries a little bit more for me over the Penguins game 7. But again, speaking out of both sides of my mouth and throwing something here that isn't part of the game, nothing for me will top the wild card Pirates game where Johnny Cueto drops the ball. Nothing will ever beat that for me as my sports moment. 2008 Ravens Steelers AFC Championship game that I flew back from St. Louis to be at. Great. Nothing will pass the Cueto ball. And that's in all of sports lore, overall, that's a meaningless game that nobody outside of Pittsburgh is really going to talk about, right? But for me, going to kind of supporting Chris a little bit, that was his jam. Baseball was my jam until the last few years, and that was the highlight of my Pirates viewing, and I'll never forget that. So I get where Chris is coming from. I get where Big Cat's coming from. If we're staying with the question, I'm picking Immaculate Reception. If I can throw out a wild card, I'm going with the Pirates. Cueto drops the ball game, and Russell Martin hits a home run.
That's a loophole. It wasn't even an option.
I want to add. I do want to add one thing at the end to get the votes to win this debate, because I'm going to come out on the winner. Okay, so great. You go back, you see them win against the Raiders, but they lose next week to the Dolphins. So great, you won the game, and also I think it bounced off the ground.
That's the show.
And also
the show.
Don't they have a pretty definitive camera angle that shows it like several inches above the ground? Like, unless you think that it's like a camera trick, I think I've seen it where it's like, yeah, it's not even close. Actually, he caught it.
Good. I'm glad it's confirmed. I just felt like it was so improbable to happen.
Kubrick was still alive back then, though. He had just faked the moon landing, according to some people. So who knows? The game was also blacked out in Pittsburgh. I mean, they could have done a lot of different little tricks with that.
So we actually, Jess and I were at the Hall of Fame like 2 weekends ago, and we got to the upstairs part, which is it's the continuation of the last 100 years, which is the most recent parts of the NFL, and they have all the noteworthy plays, and that's obviously one of them. So we watched that one a couple times, and the Immaculate Reception, it is the play that started the dynasty, right? My father-in-law was actually at the game, and the Debbie Downer that he is put his head down. He's like, I can't watch, because in his mind they were going to lose. So he just doesn't like to be let down. So he put his head down. He hears the stadium erupt, and he was there and he missed it. Like, I think Justin just said that, like, or Big Cat said, like, I'd be there and I wouldn't be watching. But for me,
man, that is
the presentation of the cup, the handshake at the end, nothing beats a Game 7. And to go back in my lifetime where I was at that point, I had just found out I was getting divorced. I was sitting on my parents' couch with just my parents. I was 27 years old, and thought my life was over. So
it's 2009, Mike, not 1999.
Fuck off. So I didn't know what was good. I didn't know what was happening, like what was going to happen, where my life was going to take me. So I'm depressed, literally watching Game 7 on my parents' couch, and Penguins won. I was kind of happy, but still depressed. So to go back and watch that and actually enjoy it and see the cup presentation, hands down, that's where I'd be.
I got deep.
It did, yeah. Unique perspective there. We get deep sometimes, Chris.
Man. Yeah. Screw ex-wives.
I feel bad for saying I was in Chicago just living it up, having fun with my friends. Holy crap. I guess there's a yin for a yang out there every time.
The funny thing is, he probably doesn't remember, but Chris is the only one on the show that's met my ex-wife, unfortunately for him. But I'm positive he doesn't remember because it was in college.
We've not had the pleasure.
College?
Yeah.
About to drop her name.
I'm man, you're gonna have to text me that one.
I'd rather not, because I'd rather forget too.
Fair enough, brother. Clearly, she didn't make much of an impression on me, if that helps.
Me either.
Chris, is that your 5 minutes, or you have 2 more?
I can give you 2 more minutes. I have not been texted angrily about forsaking my parental duties.
Okay, because I have a Drew's Clues here, guys, that I'd like to present to Chris tonight. I feel like Chris is the one most likely to get this. I think I'd like to do that. Newman, you want to introduce that for me?
Hey, Andy.
Newman.
I hear you got another Drew's Clues for us tonight.
I do. It's the Steelers edition just for Chris. All right, Chris. Drew's Clues is where I give you a category. Then I give you up to 5 statements or Drew's Clues about someone, something, or someplace within that category. Rule number 1, it's a free-for-all for guesses. If you think you know the answer at any point, shout it out. Okay? Rule number 2, if you shout an incorrect guess, you've been eliminated from the game. You cannot guess on any further clues. You're done. So, all right. Correct. After 1 clue, 5 points. 4 points after 2 clues, and so on down the line.
Is there a guest record? Like, did a guest do the best of anybody? Like, and get 5 points or what? Am I trying to beat someone's high score?
A guest has never had more than 2 or 3.
Okay.
3. I think Mario had 3 one time. Okay.
All right. Yep.
All right.
Who all has cumulative scores? So you are playing for the guest, and
you are playing for the guest.
I think they're like second or third place.
I got it.
Who all has got the question? The first one.
Big Cat.
Just you,
That's
Big
right.
Cat. We know.
That's right.
Oh, that's why you asked. Okay. All right. Category: Steelers Player of Yesteryear. Okay. Clue number 1: this former Pittsburgh Steeler began his collegiate career by scoring a 69-yard touchdown against Pitt on his first ever touch. I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1. Clue number 2: this player was drafted in the 3rd round, 95th overall in the 1999 NFL Draft.
And this is going to start bugging me.
You said 99?
Yeah.
3rd round, 95th overall, 1999 NFL Draft. I got it. I think I got it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Amos Zaraway.
Son of a bitch. He did it. He got it.
He
He got it. He got it.
Famous
He
Amos.
got it.
Amos.
Oh, that was my next clue, guys. The nickname the Steeler had during his playing days is also the name of a well-known chocolate chip cookie brand.
Famous
that was number
Amos
3.
I would have gotten it on that one.
Chris got it at 4, and then the 4 was this player was a 3-time first-team All-Big East selection at WVU, and number 5 throughout his Steelers career he shared carries with Jerome Bettis. The answer is famous Amos Zaraway. Good job, Chris. The best a guest has ever done. 4 points for Chris and for our guests.
Yes.
Good job.
1 p.m.
Famous
team
Amos.
name game today. I
Was
won
it-
this.
was-
This is great.
Was it a myth that he could bench 5? Remember he could bench or squat like
He
a
was
ton
massive.
of weight?
I think you can
He
squat
was,
a
though.
ton. Most of those dudes can squat
Yeah.
inhuman amounts of weight. They got like short arms and stocky legs. I mean, they're all like built to do weightlifting, basically.
He was short though, wasn't he?
He was like 5'8". Yeah.
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 I remember thinking he was going to be a big
Fell
deal.
down.
and,
Fell down a lot in the open field. Turf monster was an
The
enemy.
next big thing.
Yeah.
big enemy of the turf monster. So
Well, Chris, congratulations on the win tonight.
thank you.
Appreciate you being here with us again. Hopefully you do it again either next year or maybe even sooner. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds good, boys. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks,
Later.
thanks, Chris.
Great.
My notes here, boys.
So thirsty. I'm about to go drink out of the sink.
We can
You're
wait
right,
if you want to get a drink.
Did you get a drink?
Can you DoorDash me a drink, Mike?
He's in the hotel. He doesn't have
Is
access
there a
to.
lobby?
Can you send me a Faygo, Mike?
Is there not a lobby?
I don't have pants on, Mike.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
that has to
goodness.
make the show.
Oh
That
my
has to
goodness.
stay in.
Well, that was a lot of fun having Chris on the show tonight.
It was.
He's always fun to have. Gives us some great insight on Pittsburgh sports and more. But Newman, you got
You know who's not gonna like the first part of this show?
Jamie Caligiuri.
Jamie. She doesn't like when we talk sports. Sorry, Jamie. You
Sorry,
can just
Jamie.
fast forward to like 45
Newman,
minutes.
Let's talk about what Jamie wants to talk about.
No, we'll have a Jamie on someday, but not today.
Oh, that works.
Yeah.
Call her up right now. Get her in.
Newman, you got a minority report this week?
I do have a minority report for us.
Let's
this
hear
week. So, for those that don't know, the
Is it
minority
Pittsburgh
report
sports related?
is definitely not Pittsburgh sports related. Minority report is for the minority of people know it. The majority of people should know it. This will be a quick one this week. So, when you microwave popcorn, you know that space in the bag right before you tear it open. That's that little slit that opens right before when it's done. Hold it upside down and you shake it. That's how the kernels come out. That's what that slot's for. That's this week's minority report.
What?
That's one I use all the time. I love that one.
That slit where you open it and you get burned like
Don't open
immediately.
it. Don't
Yeah.
open it right away. You turn the bag over a trash can and you shake it, and all the kernels will drop out. And then you open the bag and then you're done. And popcorn is kernel free.
Newman, you amaze me with this bullshit. You
You're
really do.
welcome.
My
I gotta
dad
try-
eats the kernels.
Oh,
Oh,
He eats the kernels.
And then when you're done, after you shake all the kernels out, pour a bag of M&Ms in there, It's the best popcorn you'll have.
No.
That is some fat kid shit.
Don't know me.
Stop it.
No.
It gets all melty and weird.
Human highlighter at the moment.
You're a quitter, though. You're a quitter. You got healthy. You're a quitter. You quit being a fat guy. I can't even make fun of you for being fat anymore. You're so skinny.
Fat.
For the record, I never make fun of Mike for his weight.
Full fucking shit.
Your weight? No,
my weight.
You dress
my weight.
horribly, but your weight, I would never make fun of. No style whatsoever, but
none.
I get compliments on my shoes all the time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I didn't say I didn't get help from you, but
Justin's your plug.
He doesn't compliment me. He helped me with the first couple pairs.
Well, Mike, I'd like to compliment our sponsors right now. Thank you to Continental Comb, Tresco Concrete, the Gen Masco Real Estate Team, the Ludo's Pizzeria, Salute Beer Distributor, Busy Little Me, Pittsburgh Sports Complex and Self-Storage, Nesbitt's Lanes, and Coyote Outdoor. At Salute Beer Distributor, we are bringing you a large selection of beers from local and national breweries. Our extensive inventory includes craft beers, seasonal specialties, your everyday favorites, adult slushies, and an impressive inventory of non-alcoholic beers. Salute's inventory has something special for every palate. Come browse the aisles at Salute Beer Distributor, located on Route 286 in Plum, next to Shop and Save. You'll be glad you did.
Busy Little Me's is a residential cleaning company serving Plum and local communities. Housekeeping duties include house cleaning, disposing of rubbish, sanitizing services, dusting, vacuuming, mopping, scrubbing, etc., etc. We do custom-to-you cleans once a month, once a week, or every 9 minutes. We got you, sis. We have also been known to do decluttering and pre-clean cleans. That's a real thing. We can also polish a dirty face, scrub a doggo's filthy paws, or even spit shine your shoe. Laundry? Need linens washed? Done. How about your husband's gutchies? No prob. That ugly camisole your mother-in-law gave you? What was that? Just throw it away? Your secrets are safe with us. BusyLittleMe's.squarespace.com.
Whether chaos in your house or chaos on the court, Pittsburgh Sports Complex and Self-Storage has your back. Conveniently located in Plum at 307 Coxcomb Hill Road. Book online anytime. Don't miss out. Score 50% off your first storage rental with code GOAL.
Nesbitt's Lanes Incorporated. Lanes available for the 24-25 season. Family Bowling Center specializing in open bowling, league bowling, bumper bowling, birthday parties, group events, fundraisers, all-night bowling parties, summer leagues, Sunday morning specials, in-house tournaments, junior bowling program, after-school bowling program. They can be reached at 412-793-5556. Web address is www.nesbittlanes.com. And when you book and mention the podcast for your child's birthday by the end of the year, the birthday child is free.
It's grilling season, and Coyote Outdoor Living has you covered. Upgrade your barbecue game with a new grill from Coyote Outdoor. Choose from their vast lineup of gas, charcoal, electric, and pellet grill options. They also carry a wide variety of stainless steel storage and refrigeration solutions to complete your dream outdoor kitchen. Go to coyoteoutdoor.com and get ready to grill, baby. Grill in style.
All right, Mike, do you have a blind ranking for us tonight? You do, right?
I do.
Is it Pittsburgh sports themed?
I'll find out. Blind ranking for everyone listening at home or in your car or wherever you may be is where Mike gives us a category. And then within that category, one at a time, he lists 5 items inside of that category. We have to rank them one at a time, again, blindly. So we have no idea what's going next. Mike, take it away.
All right. So tonight's blind ranking is iconic Pittsburgh sports moments. Justin, okay. I'll let you do this one a little bit differently.
Yes.
You can rank them in your least favorite order.
I have this one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear it.
So we will go Big Cat, Drew,
hello,
and Justin. All right. First one, the 2013 wildcard game.
Baby boy, that's number one for
Andy.
That is number one for me. I was there. I will never forget it. I every year I replay it and share it with my friend who went with me. He lives in DC now, but we talk about it every year. Number one.
Already out of order, but Big Cat, you can go first this time.
Oh shit!
I'll let Drew go. He was so happy. I couldn't get upset. I'm just glad my friend's happy. I'm gonna put. Can you tell me what happened there?
Drew literally talked.
What'd you say? What was the total? What was the name of it? What was the title?
2013 wildcard game.
Pirates beat the
won.
Reds.
Pirates beat the Reds. Cueto dropped the ball.
Cueto dropped the ball. Russell Martin hit a home run. Yeah.
Who was there?
Russell Martin tanked it.
Were you there? Russell Martin hit the ball right in front of us. It was like
really?
four rows in front. It was awesome.
Sorry, Big Cat. Now you know what it is.
I did
It's
watch
gonna be
that on
on your
TV. Well, come on, guys, come on. I've retained a lot of other knowledge, okay, that's beneficial in my life, okay? Sports have slipped through the cracks a little bit. Help me out. Help me learn. Okay, I did watch it on TV. It was hilarious when he dropped the ball and people chanting his name, like, and not in a good way. It was really interesting to see. I've never seen that before in sports when someone got their name chanted because they were messing up. So I'll put that at 3.
1.
So you're saying
Sure.
1 because
Shirley's
you
favorite.
didn't like it, or
Yes, he didn't like it. He's not a Pirates fan.
1.
you're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, aren't you?
I know what he's gonna do.
Fuck yourself.
Oh, wow.
All right, next one.
After dark.
Mazeroski's walk off.
Mike, were you there for that one too?
What?
Dude,
What
I hope
year?
you step on a Lego tonight. Jesus.
What year was it?
69.
What was it, 61?
1960.
It was like 60 or 61. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a
Okay, Mike was
I had
at
a
probably
Mazeroski
elementary school then.
shirt.
What do you got, Big Cat?
I'm gonna put it at 5. Wasn't there. Didn't affect my life at all.
I'm putting it at 5 too. Just that's the same thing. Like I don't have that. There's no attachment to that at all for me. I mean, although I've stood at home plate where he hit it and all that stuff, but I don't, yeah.
So, fun
How was
fact
that?
about home plate, where it's at right now.
Osbar Hall,
Um,
University of Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they say it's in the original spot. They actually had to move it because if they kept it in the original spot, it would actually be in the men's room.
That
So
would be.
they'd move it like 10 feet or something.
Yeah,
like
people would piss on that for sure.
that. I'd stand at the plate. I'd stand at the plate at the
Yeah.
end. That'd be fun.
Oh
So
no!
fun.
Swinging your bat. All right. Yeah.
All right, Justin, 2.
2.
Nice. At least he's consistent.
Next one. Lemieux scores 5 goals 5 different ways in one game.
It's not my favorite.
Drew's awful at this.
It's not my favorite. He's used to going first. He's a little bit of a selfish.
Some might say I have a dominant personality.
A little dominant. I'll be a little submissive. Go ahead, Drew.
Well, thank you, Big Cat. Since you've given me the time here, I'm going to go ahead and put that at 4. Big deal, big game. Again, I was a little young, unlike Mike, and so significant. And I do share a birthday with Mario Lemieux,
And Mark.
and Mark, and Travis Kelce. But we only talk about Taylor Swift right now. I'll put that at 4. So that's my long way of saying 4.
Worst way to say 4.
I'm going to put
Thank
it
you,
as
Big Cat.
Thank you, Drew. I'll take it from here. I'm going to put it at
Meanwhile, back in
4.
Big Cat's answer.
I keep getting
5
interrupted.
minutes later.
Well, and then there was the discourse at the parking garage. So, my dad had a run-in with Lemieux when he was first here. My dad wasn't impressed. I think most people were like, I mean, he was a big deal, right? I don't know why my dad wasn't impressed by it.
What did you give it, a 4?
Yeah, I put it at 4. I wasn't there.
I don't know. We got the answer already.
No.
Not my favorite version of 5 different ways. Over to you, Newman.
Jesus.
This next one's kind of broad, but we'll go with the first time it was played at a playoff game, Renegade. Just the atmosphere it brings.
Ugh.
Not a fan.
I bring the atmosphere. I mean, I have to put it at 3. I'd put it at a distant 5, but whatever.
Apparently, we're just staying out of order the whole time.
Oh shit! Sorry, Big Cat. He gave it. I thought he gave it to me.
I'm
again.
not mad at it. I feel like it's natural. I think you should go first. I feel like you're the leader. You should tell us what you think first, and then we'll fall in line.
I don't know about leader, but
It's not bothering me. I like going second.
good, Big Cat.
I wish I could move the Mazeroski home run because what was even the thing? What was even the title? What was this? Renegade.
It was a very insignificant
Renegade.
Pittsburgh thing.
Renegade. Why Renegade? Why? I don't like it. It doesn't pump
It's
me up. It
iconic.
doesn't get me going. What is iconic about it? What, I wish I could, Mike, but I put Mazeroski's home run at 5. I feel like Drew keeps cutting me off. I should be able to put it
Bag
at
those
5.
fries.
I'm gonna put it at 2.
The 2.
Thanks for keeping me focused,
4.
Newman. Start digging in your ass, twin.
And San Antonio Super Bowl catch.
Big Cat, go ahead.
Oh my
there you
gosh!
go.
Well,
It took 5 times, but there we go.
this was actually my other hot take that he didn't actually get 2 feet inbounds, but
come on.
Bullshit.
They have
Bullshit.
every angle of that catch.
I know I've seen every angle. I worked at the Steelers store, and me and my buddy Adam were convinced that the angle he went down, it's very quick and it's hard he probably got 2 feet in, okay? But let me think a little bit that he didn't get his feet in because of the way he went down. And I've seen it 100 times, and yes, it was a score, and yes, it was exciting, but there's just why do I have that little bit of me that's like doubting that it was actually a catch? I have to put it at 1. And I felt my time running out. I could see Newman looking at me.
Yeah. I'll put it 2. I like it there. I like my 1 and 2. Renegade would be way out of 3, but I do like that's a very good play in Pittsburgh sports history. So yeah.
5.
Oh, shocking.
That's
What
your
you might
favorite.
what's your list?
The first one I have is 2013 wild card. Far and away the top sporting event I've ever been to in my life. It's the only game I've ever been to where there was no line at the ladies' room, line down out the door, and around the corner to the men's room, but somehow every person watched every single pitch of that baseball game. And when the game was over, everyone just sat there for I feel like a half an hour. Nobody left the stadium. And then when we left, this one kid said, "This is for the fucking Pirates," and he jumped off the bridge into the river. And then, like, in celebration, he was fine. He lived.
Okay, that's a happy ending. Yeah,
for him. Yeah. He jumped kind of close to the shore so he could get in, but it was cold that night, so it was crazy. But it was
Mike. Was he white?
You think a black guy would have done that?
Exactly my point.
There you go.
White people shit.
The next one, number 2, would have been San Antonio Super Bowl catch, just because we were at my aunt's pizza shop on Washington Boulevard in Dormont. The whole family was there. Like, literally my whole dad's side of the family was there watching the game. It was awesome. Renegade, just because I do love when that bass kicks in in a playoff game. The defense gets going. It's awesome, even though they have lost the playoff game for the last decade. Lemieux scoring 5 goals 5 ways. That was impressive. It was awesome. I do remember that game. And Maz, only because it had no impact on me, like Big Cat said. I don't remember being there.
Yeah. All right. Fucking Renegade over Lemieux scoring 5 goals. I mean, that's absurd to me.
Have you ever watched the documentary? Have you ever watched the documentary on them and why they play Renegade and everything?
Oh, absolutely not. I will never watch that.
Oh, okay.
I've seen
you
it.
have your
Don't even
principles
share
and
it
I love
now.
it. So
When I hear Renegade, I think of
All
the
right,
scene
Mike, you
in
have a
Billy
top 5
Madison.
tonight?
we do a top 5.
All right, we're gonna get this one quickly and speed through this one. We're gonna knock this one out, guys. I can tell.
It's not that hard. I do think I think you'll get. I think you will get all of the top 10 except for one person. I just don't know if you'll get the 5 that you need.
All right. Well, let's try to get the top 5 because that's the name of the game.
And I think Justin will actually be able to help, even though it's a Pittsburgh sports related one.
Oh, okay.
Top 5 all time Steelers sack leaders.
Steelers sack leaders.
Yeah.
Okay. Jason Gilden.
We will make Justin the spokesperson on this one.
I knew
So
that
he
was
has to
coming.
play.
Okay. All
I
right.
knew that was
Gonna get-
coming. I guess. All right.
All right.
So,
Newman.
so
This is the one that's going to come out of the air for me, and I think it's right, but at some point I thought I was right. Jason Gilden.
Jason
believe
Gilden,
he's in
final
the-
answer.
Jason Gilden is number 4 with
Nice.
77.
77.
All right,
TJ
Jason Gilden.
Watt.
I agree.
Final answer.
Yes.
Number 1, TJ Watt,
Boom.
108.
108. Okay.
Are we going to say Joey Porter?
I was just going to say Joey Porter on this list. We'll go Joey Porter.
Porter, number 5.
Bam.
Joey
with
Porter.
60.
All right.
He's at 60. Okay, so 60 is the low end. Okay,
See,
so
All-time Steelers, though. Like I was going to say Kevin Green, but Kevin Green, I don't know that he played enough with the Steelers to get on this list. Did he?
would
He had
Lambert
some big
be on
years,
this
though.
list? I don't
know.
I wouldn't know the older ones, so
I don't remember sack totals for those guys. When did they even start keeping track of sacks?
that's true.
That wasn't super early.
I don't know that
Uh,
any like the Steel Curtain would be on. Like I don't think any of those guys would be on there. All right, so let's say
Greg Lloyd?
current. Sure, Greg Lloyd. Final answer.
Strike 1, Greg Lloyd. He's number
Damn
8 with 53.5.
Oof.
Oh, so damn. So 60 was 5, and he's 8 at 53. Holy shit!
Mhm.
So that's a James Harrison's not going to be that high.
You don't think he'd be in the 50s? He had some big years. I'll go James Harrison. Go James Harrison.
All right, James Harrison.
Number 3, James Harrison,
All right.
80.5.
So what do we have? 2 left?
1.
No, we got one.
Yeah.
Number
Number 2.
2.
Yeah, number
Number
2.
2.
Yes. Number 2.
So number 3,
What's
James
number
Harrison
1?
was 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
88.5. Number 2 has 88.5. Not that helps you with anything, but that's the delta between him and TJ is
Pretty extraordinary.
30.
Shouldn't we have heard this? Like, who did TJ Watt pass up?
Surpass, right.
This should be the easy one, right?
Yeah, but if he passed him, he's 108 now, so he passed him like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Do we think it's Kevin Green? Or too many of his sacks with the Rams? He'd be my next guess. He would be my next best guess.
Kevin Green, final answer.
Strike 2.
Damn it.
He's not even on the list.
Oh shit.
Wow, that's that. Okay, so that's on me. That's on me. And he has some sacks, but not all of them with the Steelers, obviously. Are we missing a lineman? No.
Can't be Cam Heyward.
No, not enough sacks there, even with his longevity. Do we think it's an old like Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, Mean Joe Green?
Oh, you know what? Cam Heyward, final answer. We're not going to mess around with this. We're not going to go back and forth. We're going with Cam Heyward, final answer.
Cam Heyward, 88.5, number 2.
Come on. Wow.
Let's go. He's been with the
Nice
team the longest. This is where I was going with that. So,
I mean, yeah, he doesn't have seasons where he's gone crazy, but you put together 16 seasons with 5 or 6, it adds up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well done.
The only one on the list I didn't know is Keith Willis at 59. He's number 6. I think I saw he played in like the early 80s, like 81. I think I saw. Number 7's Lamar Woodley with 57.
Woodley, yeah.
Number 9, you got number 8, Greg Lloyd. Number 9 is Aaron Smith with 44.
Aaron Smith, yeah.
Number 10 is Ted Dupree with 39.5.
Bud Dupree?
Or Bud Dupree.
Ted Dupree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bud Dupree, yeah.
Bud Dupree.
Wow. That's crazy that he's 10. He wasn't here that long.
Jeez. Huh. Mike, we have any voicemails tonight?
We do. We're going to try and play them live from Big Cat's computer.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Yeah, I was out of there for a little bit.
We did the top 5.
Nice.
We got it. We got it right with 2
work.
strikes. We did have 2 strikes, but we got it.
Here. Just wanted to say hi. And Mike, I feel like that I'm letting you down by not rambling on and like going over my 30-second thought. I'll try to do better from now on. I don't think this is going to make it, but I will be paying attention tonight and making notes and have a whole list for you for the next podcast. So have a good night, guys. See you soon.
That was
Way
a
to be
Jerry
efficient.
Seinfeld of fucking
Yeah.
voicemails. That was nothing.
Way to be efficient, though. Wow.
Number 2.
Just to call in, say hi, and just give you guys a nod as to your previous episode. A lot of things I wanted to point out, but too numerous to mention, and Mike has me on a limited time. But just a nod to everybody, and shout out to Mike for throwing a heck of a tournament this past weekend. The kickoff, or I should say, end of the summer softball. It was absolutely awesome to watch my baby girls play their heart out. And I won't be able to call in next time because I'll be enjoying myself with my husband in Ireland and Italy. And hope to make it to Greece next year. Justin, you made me jealous. Keep up the good work, boys. Bye.
TMI, Mama Divine.
I thought I just got
TMI.
She said my name right after I said that.
No, I got to say one thing. Dave Biondo, he's the one who put on the PBSA and the Summer Bash. He was the tournament director, not me. So kudos to Dave Biondo on that one.
Kudos to Dave. Great job, Dave.
And I don't ever want to hear about my parents enjoying themselves together again.
I think she said in Italy and Ireland. Did she say should be international?
They are leaving for Italy and Ireland.
Hey, I'm going to say this is an anonymous caller, long-time listener, on a morning where Mike Devine absolutely just destroyed Newman. I'm talking like vintage Jordan against the Blazers. He's hitting fadeaways. He's hitting threes. Can we just talk about Mike Devine's dominance that morning of Newman? I just think it was super fun. Hey, guys. Thanks a lot. See ya.
Dude, but did you get beat by Mike at basketball?
Slow the fuck down. Mike hit 3 shots all fucking day in the first game, and he didn't shoot again in the rest of the fucking time. He hit all 3 of his shots. He hit every shot that he took.
I only took 3 shots that game.
He hit them all.
No, I hit 2 more the rest of the game, and the rest of the day, and I took 4 more. So I was very efficient that day in basketball, and that does not happen very often, I will say.
Well, congratulations to you on the 3 for 3 shooting, and congratulations to whomever shut you down the rest of the day.
No, I shot myself down.
Oh.
But then I went back to normal.
Oh, that's a great voicemail. All right, guys, any shout-outs this week?
I have 2 real quick ones. My mom already said it, but PBSA, we did have our annual softball tournament this weekend. PBSA and the Summer Bash. Dave Biondo did put on a hell of a tournament. We had 7 teams at 8U, 6 teams at 10U, and 6 teams at 12U. Our 10U Plum Mustangs team, they won the gold championship. They were victorious there. They beat Franklin Regional in the finals. My 10U team, we lost in the semifinals. We were the number 2 seed going in. Lily's team lost in the championship in extra innings. It was a heartbreaker to lose with international rules, and losing extra innings was tough. After a walk-off victory in the semifinals, it was a great game there. And then I think we had one other team. I think our youngest, like our 6 and 7-year-old girls, I think they won. I think they won their division. That was at the other end of the complex, so I didn't get to see that game. And then Dave's team, I think they lost in the semifinals as well, so they had a good weekend there. But overall, great weekend of softball. We actually had the head coach for the varsity team come down to watch some of the varsity girls. So, our girls go up and watch them play as much as they can, but to have it the other way around, those girls are really excited. And then I also want to shout out fall sports are coming up. Getting ready to start here in a few weeks. School starts next week. So we have football kicking off, boys and girls soccer, cross country, golf, fall sport. I'm missing something.
Yeah, it is.
Golf competition. But I did bring Lily up to her first middle school booster meeting. She got her first uniform. She has actual tryouts this week to figure out which team they have 2 teams, but that one hit a little close. But good luck to all those girls trying out for their first middle school sport on Thursday. Figure out which team they're on.
And
talk about hitting close to home. Kenyon started tryouts yesterday and today for the middle school soccer team. There will be 2 teams there, so we get to find out what team he's on. And then shout out to the football team. They had their media day on Saturday, so they were doing team pictures while we were painting Deuce's parking spot, which looks amazing, by the way. And we could hear something over the loudspeakers, but we were confused as to what was happening because it sounded like somebody was mumbling into the microphone, and I was like, what is happening? And we turned around and the video board was going off, and I was like, I don't understand what's happening. Coming to find out that Pat McAfee was there, which is why everybody was going apeshit, and I didn't understand why. So shout out to them for bringing in the surprise guest of Pat McAfee. I always appreciate when he's back on campus. He brings some energy. So we love that. Yeah, those are my shout outs.
Have you seen the new scoreboards? The football one and the one in the gym?
I've seen the football one in action because they were doing it for the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, we got to see the one in the gym for the basketball and volleyball games. They were testing it out on Friday. Now I know because Pat was coming. They were testing it during the basketball clinic on Friday morning, and it's going to be pretty cool when you get to see it for basketball games. The graphics they can do, they can do like trivia, they can do like fan cam. They have a drone that can go around the gym, which I don't know if they'll do that during the game, but everything looks awesome.
So I made the joke that I'm going to put my picture up on the board during the basketball games, and I was like, that's not going to happen. But that is pretty fucking funny. Now, if I figure out how to do that, that might happen.
Well, I know people there. We can get the Billy picture.
All right.
There we go. I have 2 quick shout outs. Nothing that's super local to Plum. But there were if anybody watched the Little League or the Pony League Softball World Series, there were 3 girls. It was Indiana PA team, Indiana, like out where IUP is. 3 girls from my tiny little high school were on that team for Purchase Line. Shout out to the Red Dragons. 3 girls that I know 2 of their parents either graduated with them or they're maybe a couple classes below me, but amazing. They've been in it back-to-back, made the semifinals back-to-back years in the Pony League World Series. And then 12U team that won the Little League Softball World Series was from comprised of some small towns outside of Johnstown called Carrolltown, Patton, towns like that. And those are towns where I grew up playing against their Little Leagues. So really small. I'm talking, these towns are hundreds of people, huge. For them to be world champions at the 12U level is incredible. So shout out to those girls. And they had a hell of a tournament on both parts. So good for them.
So you went to Purchase Line High School? Is that where you're from?
Yes.
I hate Purchase Line.
Why do you hate Purchase Line?
We play them basketball all the time, and they have some. I don't know what's in the water out there, but those girls get bigger and taller than our girls do way sooner. And
yeah,
man, they're tough.
They have some really, for being a very, very small school, they have some really good classes and your daughter's ages. In particular, there's 2 sisters that are a year or 2 apart. They both were, coincidentally, were in the Softball World Series. They're just, you have sometimes have these classes that have these freak athletes that are just good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Mahaffey girls are that. So shout out to Greg and Audrey. They were I was standing between them. Greg graduated the year before me and Audrey the year after me, but their daughters are phenomenal athletes, and they are tough. You think, small single-A schools on the list. No, they're not single-A athletes. They are big time. So
yeah. And one more thing to shout out. Not this coming weekend, next weekend is the Kickoff Classic. We had Fred Lucas on last year at this time, but
yeah, good
luck to everybody. The preparation starts now. Actually, we're getting ready all week next week, and the kickoff starts, I think, at 5:00 next Friday.
First year I'm not doing it.
Wow.
Come up and watch girls play all weekend. My girls.
Yeah, I'll be in Ohio.
No, don't come then.
I'll go visit Dave. Dave and Andy.
Yeah. Any other shout outs, guys? All right. On that note, we'll give one last thank you to our guest host tonight, Chris Mueller, co-host of 93.7 The Fans PM team with Poni and Mueller. Chris is always great on here. Love his takes. Find to be a genuinely funny guy. So thank you, Chris, for joining us. Hope we do it again soon. If not too soon, then we'll definitely have you on another next year to talk about some more training camp and Steelers football this time of the year. And thank you for listening to Sour Plums. Like this episode, subscribe to our channel on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Share if you care. We're out.
Peace.
Deuces.